I'm cleaning. But while I'm cleaning, I want to break something down. I want to break with this dude.
I promise I'll never speak of it again.
This is his channel. And by the way, fair use. As much as... Shit, hold on. Just a minute. As much as this man takes other people's content and uses it to critique, I'm also doing the same thing. I'm critiquing what he says, and this is fair use.
That too much has already been said about Slapgate, but then again, it's one of the most entertaining news events to occur in many years. So, you know, we're always kicking one dead horse or another in our country, so why not this one? Still, even though Will Smith's assault of Chris Rock has been discussed, debated, analyzed, dissected, interpreted, examined, scrutinized in every possible way, from every possible angle, seemingly,
here we go.
There's one point about the incident that has not been made.
So he's talking about kicking a dead horse. Now I realize and I feel as though he's kicking several dead horses. These little channels right here, they get monetized, they get money to bash and go after people in social media, and they are they perpetuate the bullshit. And he's acting as if he's not part of the bullshit, but he is so deep into the bullshit it's not even funny.
At least not been made enough or allowed enough. And I'd be remiss if I allowed the week to end and officially retired from Slapgate discussions without bringing it up. And here's the point. We know that Will Smith is a neutered cuckold prone to violent and performative rage. That much has been established. And he's received plenty of much...
He's a cuckold because he defends his wife. Now, this is a man who claims he has a wife. And I'm going to bet you that this guy would do much, much more if what happened and transpired with Will Smith happened to him. Because men like him, I'm not going to say anything about race, but men like him are extremely violent when it comes to shit like that. So would he be a cuckold when the same situation hit him? I think so. I think he'd be that cuckold too.
Deserve criticism because of that, and also plenty of not at all deserved support. And yet the biggest villain in this whole situation, the person who shares at least as much of the blame, if not more, has been left off the hook entirely. That would be Will Smith's wife and lots of other men's girlfriend, Jada Pinkett Smith. Before we talk about her role...
So if you ladies don't know where this kind of information or this kind of mindset is coming from, when you hear Black Manosphere talking like this, it's from dudes like this.
In the slap that will live in infamy. We should take a look at Jada's background. Now, aside from the fact that she's been an actress for 30 years and is yet to appear in a good movie in her entire career, the first thing to establish about Jada Pinkett Smith is that she's extremely weird and creepy. So, for example, here she is a few years ago talking to her daughter about how
she's weird and creepy, yet you're the one talking about her. She's not talking about you, but she's weird and creepy, not you. You're not weird and creepy. You're not weird and creepy talking about another man's wife, and you claim you have a wife. You're not weird and creepy? Let's continue.
Her grandmother taught Jada about self-pleasuring, quote unquote, at the age of 9. Listen.
My grandmother taught me about self-pleasuring because she wanted me to know that pleasure was from me. Exactly. She didn't want me to fall into the hands of a man, and if he gave me pleasure, to think that was him. And she taught me at 9.
Look up.
God damn this motherfucker with my hands wet. Let me just say this.
I don't know who that woman is in pink.
Hold on. So he has a problem because Jada said that she was taught self-pleasuring. Most women don't have somebody to mentor them and tell them, but most women already know, especially if they're divinely inspired. They're the type of person that has self-autonomy. They're already teaching themselves. So somehow this man is offended. He's offended because she's self-pleasuring instead of being used like a fucking a rag, right? From dudes like him. So he has a problem because she's not just some man's plaything. She's her own plaything. And somehow that fucking offended this dude. It fucking offended him. And I'm going to bet you, I'm going to go out on a limb and say, a dude who thinks like this, His wife is cheating on him. She's getting some dick somewhere else. She's getting pleasured somewhere else, because men like this, who have so much animosity towards a woman that pleasures herself, can't pleasure his wife. So I can almost bet and believe, but I bet you she'll never come out and tell him the truth like Jada told Will. His wife will never come out and tell him the truth, because she knows that'll end in a death sentence. So let's continue.
But she is so excited to hear about a 9-year-old being taught about masturbation. So, reflecting back on her experience of being sexually groomed by her own grandmother, the bizarre lesson that Jada takes away from it is that sex is a selfish pursuit. When a woman is with a man, she says all the pleasure comes from herself, not from the man. Not even sure what that means exactly, except that this is a twisted, depraved woman. But this self-obsessed approach to life came through, I think, most profoundly and embarrassingly when Jada sat...
Sorry. My hands are wet, so it keeps on doing other things. Somebody that knows this man's channel, please tell me if this man is a Trump supporter, because he sure sounds like one. I mean, his viewpoints are very, very one way. It's very, the man is the king, the man is the prize, fuck the women, you're here to just serve me. That's his mindset. Tell me if he is a Trump supporter. Tell me if he's MAGA. Anybody that knows this channel, because I'm not going to watch anything else because it just popped up on my screen. I'm just going to, talk about this.
Down with Will Smith on camera to discuss, in conspicuously unapologetic terms, her affair with another man, a rapper named August, who is only a little bit older than her son. Let's go back and watch that again.
As time went on, I got into a different kind of entanglement with August. One thing I want to get clear about and clean up, one of the things that was kind of swirling in the press about you giving permission, which is, the only person that could give permission in that
fuck. Hold on. I'm trying to get this little so you can see his face.
particular circumstances myself.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. But what August was probably trying to communicate, because I could actually see how he would perceive it as permission, because we were separated amicably.
Yeah.
And I think he also wanted to make it clear that he's not a homewrecker, which he's not.
I think so. I mean, because this is your red table, and you brought yourself to the red table. I think you need to say clearly what happened.
As far as what?
You and I decided we were going to take our space, and what happened.
Yeah, and then I got into
Hold on. Let's not miss that part. Will Smith said they were separated. He said, let's get this clear. We were separated. Did anybody catch that? I think that's a whole portion of what, people are missing concerning this so-called entanglement, because they want to fucking fry her like a witch on a stake, right? So they're forgetting the fact that Will, out of his own mouth, said they were separated, motherfuckers. Do you hear him?
Entanglement with August. That's what I said.
An entanglement?
Yes. Yes.
A relationship?
Yes.
Hold on, let me roll that back. I think that's important to hear again. Goddamn son of a bitch.
Circumstances myself.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. But what August was probably trying to communicate, because I could actually see how he would perceive it as permission, because we were separated amicably.
Yeah.
And I think he also wanted to make it clear that he's not a homewrecker, which he's not.
I think so. I mean, because this is your red table, and you brought yourself to the red table. I think you need to say clearly what happened.
As far as what?
You and I decided we were going to take our space, and what happened.
Yeah, and then I got into
So did you hear that again? That's the second time I repeat it. Will Smith and Jada Smith said they were separated. Separated, motherfuckers. Do you know what that means?
entanglement with.
And humiliate him publicly. All part of the fun for her, I suppose. But remember, she's still a victim, in spite of her awful, toxic behavior, because she has alopecia. So let's keep that in mind. That brings us to the fateful night this past Sunday, when her husband once again humiliated himself in front of the world, is that she didn't need his permission to sleep around. Also, she's the real victim because she was hurting. She was broken. And the only way to heal her pain was to have sex with a rapper half her age.
You know, he has a problem with her being in pain and having an affair, but I don't hear him critiquing any dudes that cheat on their wives incessantly. Are constantly. Every week they go out, they fuck a new woman outside of their marriage. But I don't hear him critiquing those men. Why is that?
Yep. It's bad enough to be a backstabbing adulterer in the first place, but Jada wasn't satisfied with that. She also had to traipse her broken shell of a husband out in front of the cameras and humiliate him publicly. All part of the fun for her, I suppose. But remember, she's still a victim, in spite of her awful, toxic behavior, because she has alopecia. So let's keep that in mind. That brings us to the fateful night this past Sunday, when her husband once again humiliated himself.
He's got a problem with her alopecia, right? He's trying to make fun of her alopecia. However, men like him with erectile dysfunction, everybody's supposed to fucking fall down in sorrow for them because they can't get their dicks up, and they need their Viagra. So, we're supposed to feel sorry for them for their conditions too. However, he gives her no pass.
In front of the world and probably blew up his career in the process. It was a decision he made and he carries the blame for it, but it's fair to wonder what Jada was doing while her husband was getting up from his seat and strolling towards the stage. It's not like he got up and ran, by the way. I mean, he got up and walked. So she would have had time to stop him if she was interested in stopping him.
She might have stopped him if she knew what the fuck he was going to do. However, let me just say this. Every person is responsible for their own actions. Somehow, dudes like him feel they're not responsible. They get to shift the blame onto other people. And men like him always, and I'm going to be honest with you, they're very anti other races. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to put it out there. So, of course, he can see Jada as something that is to be abhorred, somebody to be hated. You know what I'm saying? Because in his mind, she's not worth anything to him. So how was Jada gonna stop him? She was a mind reader. She was gonna stop him. She knew. She didn't know. She didn't know, just like Chris Rock didn't know. However, somehow you think she was supposed to pull out her magic cards right there on the spot and say, "Oh, my husband's gonna get up and slap Chris Rock. Let me go stop him." Are you fucking insane? Are you stupid? Are you dumb? Do you hear yourself talk, motherfucker? Do you hear yourself? How is she gonna know? And the fact that he's a grown-ass man. This man is one of the most powerful men on earth. This man has connections all over the globe. This man has interacted with some of the most wealthy businessmen on the face of the fucking planet. He's interacted with scientists and he's interacted with mathematicians. You name it, he's been in contact with different people. This is a man who has self-autonomy. I mean, where in your fucking pea brain do you think that Will Smith was not aware what the fuck he was going to do and that he needed Jada to stop him? This is a grown-ass man. You know, I know men like you like to shift the blame onto your wives and blame. You're the type of dude that becomes MGTOW and then sits in your fucking one-room apartment crying about how your wife did you wrong. However, these are your actions. This is your mentality. Get the fuck out of here.
How did she react? What was her role in all of this? Well, somebody in the crowd captured the immediate aftermath of the slap on their cell phone, and it gives a good view of how Jada responded. Let's watch that.
Here is an angle most people have not seen. Look at Jada's reaction.
I mean, how do you see her reaction? I don't see her reaction.
She's sitting in her seat watching this all unfold.
Hold on. This is some dumb
That's
shit.
How she responded.
You can't even see her reaction because her back of her head is to the fucking camera, you dumb dick. How do you see her reaction? Tell me how you saw it. Did you get a mirror reflection somewhere? Because you didn't fucking see her reaction. You stupid motherfucker. However, even if she did laugh, good for her.
Laughing. What kind of wife responds that way as her husband destroys himself? here's something that all young women out there ought to know before you get married, okay?
Dude, don't you ever
Part of your
give a young
job as a
woman
wife
advice.
is to stop your husband from doing impulsive, self-destructive, stupid things. Now, I'm not saying this is a full...
Let me just say this. This is the advice a woman can give another young woman. Don't choose a man that you have to actually fucking stop from doing crazy, fucked up shit. Don't choose a man who isn't self-aware, who doesn't know consequences. I think Will knew his consequences. I think he just didn't give a fuck. Kudos to him. However, while he's sitting here giving young women advice, I'm going to give young women advice. Don't choose men that you need to control. That's my advice.
Job. Hopefully he won't need round-the-clock supervision in this regard. Teenage boys are a different matter, right? I mean, they'll find 50 different ways to unintentionally destroy themselves and ruin their lives every day. But if they survive male adolescence...
So he knows that somehow, some way, fathers like him have young boys who will learn how to destroy them 50 million ways because they got a mentor and a father like him who doesn't know what it fucking means to be a father and teach right and correct fucking information to their child, life skills. He's not that type of father. So of course he's going to say that young boys will destroy themselves 50 million ways because, come on, let's see how he's talking and what kind of advice he's giving and his talking points.
And make it to adulthood, they'll have probably calmed down considerably, but even so, every once in a while, as men, we get it into our heads to do something outlandishly ridiculous and potentially harmful to ourselves, and we need our wives there to talk some sense into us.
Really, what he should be talking about is the boys that will do harmful shit to other people and other kids. You know, like the Columbine shooter and all these different shooters. These I hate to say it, but I'm going to put it out there. There's a lot of WH_TE students who have fathers like this who go in shooting schools up, and that is their reaction because their fathers aren't teaching them life skills, proper life skills. If you happen to be a father that had a son that did that and you did teach them proper life skills, I'm sorry, I'm not talking about you. But if you happen to be that father that did not teach your children life skills and they did go and do those kind of atrocities, then I am talking about you.
There's a reason why married men live longer than unmarried men. This is the reason. So I'll give one example from my own life, just as an example. So as you heard on the show a few months ago, at one of my recent college talks, I decided to go outside and physically confront a mob of angry protesters.
Hold up. This dude talks to college students? What the fuck?
In the street. Why did I do this? Well, mostly because I thought it would be funny. And it was. But it was also not the smartest thing to do from a physical safety perspective. My wife was not there to stop me. If she had been, she would have...
Okay, hold on. Now he's pulling his wife into it. So his wife has to stop him because he's making bad decisions? He literally just said he's a grown-ass man making bad decisions. But if his wife happened to be there, she would have stopped him. Do you see how stupid that is? This is a grown-ass man not taking any accountability for his own actions. But if his wife had been there, she would have stopped him from doing it. You see how dumb these motherfuckers are? I'm sorry.